If I got on that flight and all of a sudden there was an announcement mid-flight, I can't get off the plane. And now because this judge, who was rated unqualified, like she was an intern like 6 years ago, now she's a federal judge. She got on at 33 years of age, Trump's youngest and probably worst appointment. This is a lady who's never tried a case in court. Her only trial experience was as an intern when she was in college. ABA says she's not. For her to by herself be able to say no mask mandate to me is outrageous.
She makes these pronouncements about the good that masks do or don't do when she obviously is clueless. And the vast majority of scientific evidence is masks have saved millions of lives over the last 2.5 years.
Maybe it's true. I heard Claire McCaskill say millions of people's lives were saved by the mask. I doubt that. Maybe thousands were, maybe hundreds were. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But I do know that now the time of the masks have passed, and it's time for America to move on.
When possible, carry some extra masks. I know this sounds crazy, but if you tell someone next to you on a plane, KN95 and just say, or surgical mask, and just say, I've got an elderly mother at home. I've got a child with cancer at home. Will you please do me a favor? Having the people at least closest to you in that row, protecting yourself and them, can be the best safety. So carry some extra masks with you. Carry some rapid tests with you if you're traveling.
Just because this ruling was made by a judge doesn't mean that suddenly the science has changed. We know that masks remain very protective. Masks reduce the risk of virus transmission, and one-way masking, you wearing a mask, protects you very well. And I would absolutely urge for people, especially if they are vulnerable, if they're concerned about getting COVID, to be wearing an N95, KN95, or KF94 mask whenever they are in crowded indoor settings.
I am a very pro respiratory protection masking person, but that requires an N95 respirator. And to use face cloth coverings or even surgical masks leaves you still largely unprotected, and that is a big challenge. Well, if you look at the mask mandate, it was all about the vast majority of people wearing face cloth coverings or surgical masks, or if you're on a plane and you're eating or drinking, you don't have to wear it at all. I think the mask mandate has been really overstated in terms of how much you can protect people. I think we are basically expending a lot of public health capital for something that will have very little return.
There's no adequate evidence to show that masks work for what's called source control to prevent the spread of COVID to other people. And in fact, one of the reports said there's been nothing new in the last week. That's not even true, because the study from Spain came out in the last week or so showing that 5-year-olds who are not masked against 6-year-olds who are masked, the whole year had almost identical cases of COVID and secondary spreads. It shows that masks are essentially useless.